Hello again and welcome to SCLC TV. I'm Maynard Eaton and of course our president and CEO, Dr. Charles Steele Jr. We're joined this week in a special guest appearance by our chairman, Dr. Bernard Lafayette Jr. Listen, the headlines have been full of all the racial animus and conversation going on in Virginia, swirling around Governor Ralph Northam. These two gentlemen sat down, talked to him about the Kingian nonviolence training. Tell us what happened. You were summoned by the governor to come meet with him.
I was called. He actually called me directly, and we didn't call him. He called us and asked if I would come up, and then I mentioned about Dr. Lafayette. He said, "Oh yeah, bring Dr. Lafayette. I would like to meet with the two of you all, and just have a talk because of what y'all represent. SCLC, Kenyan philosophy." Someone had mentioned that to him, and with your position, Dr. King, and particularly the historicity behind Dr. Lafayette.
Because you travel the world training people in this philosophy, do you not, Dr. Lafayette?
Yes,
This is your business now almost, or your calling.
Yes.
Tell us about, what did you advise him?
Well, first of all, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing in the nonviolence training is because of the last conversation I had with Dr. King in Memphis, Tennessee. I was finishing up a press statement that I was going to do at the press conference because Martin Luther King was going to stay in Memphis and complete the march over again that had broken out in violence. And he was scheduled to do this press conference in D.C. to open up the headquarters for the Poor People's Campaign. So since he had appointed me the head of the Poor People's Campaign, he wanted me to go and do the press conference. But the last words he said to me was that, Lafayette, the next movement we're going to have is to internationalize and institutionalize nonviolence. And that's why we do that. And of course, President Steele has been with me in different countries as well, helping to promote the Kingian nonviolence. And when I say Kingian nonviolence, we are distinguishing that because it's Martin Luther King's way of bringing together different forms. He was what you call eclectic, in the sense that he drew from many different sources and many different nonviolent components. And sometimes he didn't agree totally with everything someone said, but he would take that part that he agreed with and put that into the teachings. And Martin Luther King, of course, was not able to complete that because of the assassination. So I decided to make that my life's work. So yes, that's what I do.
What did Governor Northam have to say sitting in front of you about this nonviolence philosophy? And how does that nonviolence help him with his racial troubles right now?
Well, nonviolence helps, number one, the individual to stay composed and in control, of himself. Because if you don't control yourself, you can't control the situation and you'll lose it. So nonviolence starts off with being nonviolence towards yourself and being strong and being committed, but also it helps you to get a sense of purpose in life. What is your goal? You only live so long, and it's every day you have to decide whether or not your living is not in vain. But so therefore, the governor wanted to get this nonviolence training to stay in control of himself, but also he saw the need to promote reconciliation, and that's what he was really interested in. Martin Luther King's approach to reconciliation.
That's what we heard. He used the word one time, reconciliation. I don't know if he's...
Well, he was messaging. When Dr. Lafayette and I talked to him, he didn't really anticipate some of the things we were saying, but we were giving him an aspect of what he would actually be informed of and actually gain by going through this training.
You were quoted in the New York Times yesterday.
Absolutely. Myself and Dr. Lafayette, I was quoted in the New York Times on yesterday, and basically I was saying that Dr. Lafayette and I got the call to cater the food, to go to the governor's mansion there in Richmond. And when we got there, we catered the food, we cooked the food, we put it on the table. Now it's time for him to eat it, to get the nourishment.
In other words, he's not committed yet to do it. He's not. Doesn't seem like he's really told the world.
I think you hit it on the head, and he's going to be in a terrible situation if he doesn't do something historically that's been successful, like working with SCLC.
This may sound like a dumb question, but others may not know. Why did he call SCLC?
Well, first of all, Dr. Lafayette, who is a renowned trainer in the Kenyan philosophy, actually developed the curriculum with Mrs. King and others. But the point being is that someone saw my denouncing and asking him as an individual, as a governor, asking him to step down. And I have not relinquished that. I want to go on the record again. I am asking him to step down, but it's up to him to take this training. And whatever decision he makes, if he stays or step down, he will benefit.
How do you see him benefiting from that? How do you see the people of Virginia benefiting from him taking this training?
Well, if the governor takes this training and decides that he's going to take the leadership in helping to reconcile and deal with the controversial issues that you're faced with. And what we're talking about is not only the racial divide, but we're talking about the classism that exists as well.
Classism.
The poverty. We're concerned about the health care of people. So what we understand very clearly that Martin Luther King's training is about social change. How do you change things without destroying yourself or others?
Final question to both of you. You both sat there across the desk from him and looked him in his eye. Do either one of you think Governor Ralph Northam is a racist?
I think he is like the rest of America, in denial. He's not the only one.
What about you, Dr. Lafayette?
Well, I think that the culture itself makes it difficult for people not to feel some sense of racism because of the history.
Yeah.
There is no mystery, okay? If you know your history, then the future is very clear. So we have a lot of work to do in this country, and so does the governor, as well as many others.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to a special edition of SCLC TV with our president and our chairman, Dr. Bernard Lafayette, talking about their meeting with the Virginia Governor Ralph Northam. Nobody else has done this. I'm Maynard Eaton. See you next week.